If you need help using Maschine, I have my video course up on teachable.com and it's entitled How I Use Maschine. I cover everything from how I start a beat to finishing the beat. The link is in the description below, so if you need help with Maschine, go check that out. Hopefully you enjoy the video. What's up, everybody? This is DDS, and today I'm back at home. As you see, I was out in Berlin, as many of you know. Native Instruments flew me and a few other great creators out there for Creator Base 19. It was amazing. I'm grateful, thankful, and all of that wonderful stuff. Shout out to McBenjamins and Native Instruments for putting that together for us. It was an amazing time, learned a lot, learned something from everybody really, but this video isn't about all that. If you want to see my Creator Base 19 recap, I'll put a link to it in the description below and probably put a card up so you guys can just click on it and check it out. It's definitely worth a watch, amazing experience. But today, as I said, we're talking about this right here, the Maschine MK3, and is it worth it? I had a comment from someone a few days ago and they were like, DDS, can you explain how the Maschine MK3 stands 2 years later? Is it still my favorite machine? Is it better than the Maschine Studio? Because I think they were trying to decide if they wanted to get the MK3 versus the Studio, because I think they saw the Studio was cheaper. Now I can't remember the exact specifics of the comment, but the basis of the comment was, what do I think about the machine 2 years after having it? So here we are, we're coming up on the 2 years of me having it, and to answer the question straight to the point, yes, I still love the Maschine MK3. It's still my favorite machine. I honestly haven't used my Maschine Studio since I received this in the mail. I can honestly say I probably only used it like 2 or 3 times, and then once I got used to this, it was just this all day. And the reasons for that are, it's a lot smaller, which I like this design better. The Maschine Studio was cool. It had like the extra big wheels so you can turn. I don't even remember exactly what it did. Like you could browse with it, things of that nature. You had like your meter to see if you're peaking and all of that stuff. But you know, I still enjoyed this. And then on top of that, you don't have to have external power going to it to run it. Like with the Maschine Studio, if I'm going to the studio, I would have to be like, okay, let me take this extension cord so I can plug it in and then run the power to wherever I'm at, because I may not be close to a outlet on the wall. So that was a plus for me because I just didn't like it. I mean, it's optional for this, of course. You can plug it in, it comes with the adapter and everything, but to me, it's a no-brainer. It's straight USB all day. And then it has the audio interface. With the audio interface, you can sample all of that, and it's all powered just by USB. So when I was out in Berlin at Creator Base, we actually went to an abandoned spy station where we were able to create some tracks. I used this. This was my interface. This all I had was my laptop and this, and it worked perfectly. Didn't need anything else. Now, if you were to take the Maschine Studio, you would have been out of luck unless you were able to find a power adapter and then make sure it had power going to it, and then you were able to run it from wherever it is to your machine. You were running to that issue. Another thing that's a plus for me, the screens look better on here. And then on top of that, you have the buttons. The buttons, and I'm not talking about the pads, I'm talking about the buttons. I'm gonna get to the pads in a second. With the buttons, it's just like having your pad mode, keyboard mode, chords, and step sequencer right there. It was very beneficial because that's something that I use regularly. Every time I make a beat, I'm using these buttons. When I was out in Berlin, they were talking about the development of this, and one of the guys spoke on, you know, how this was a big deal to him, and I had to personally thank him. Like, dude, being able to just push the buttons right here to lock in scale, start chords and everything, meant a lot to me. Like, that was a selling point to me because, you know, before you could do it, you had to, you know, hit shift pad mode to go to keyboard mode and then go through the menus to twist the knobs to which scales you want and lock it in. But now with the buttons right here, you don't have to do all of that. And I thought that was a great addition to the Maschine MK3. And on top of that, you have like your smart strip right here for your modulation, your pitch. You can do performance effects, which I'm going to get into. I watched a lot of the other creators, at Creator Base, and they were performing with the machine, and I've never thought to perform with the machine. I also had a Machine Jam right there. So they really inspired me to actually play around with it, and even like the lock feature and all that. I've never played with that, and they've inspired me to do that along with the jam. So that's a dope what am I trying to say? That's a dope addition to the Maschine MK3. Like, The pads themselves feel better than the pads on the Maschine Studio. Even after 2 years, they still feel great to me. And if you look at my machine, it's been through it with me. Like, you see the scuffs and everything on here. And I usually, like when I travel, I put this in the bag so that way it doesn't get scratched up. But as you see right here, it really sits here. So this is just from the 2 years of wear and tear, me making beats on a regular basis on it. It still holds up very well. Then I have this machine right here. I wanted to do this comparison too. This is the Maschine MK3. If you guys did not know, I would still pick this over this. Even if you're just starting out, this is a good way to go. If you don't, especially if you don't have an audio interface, because some people when they start off don't even know what an audio interface was. I was one of those people who didn't know what audio interface was when I first started making beats. So even with that added into the price, is still this. Then on top of that, you have the screens. The screens on here are dope. On here, you have this little small screen, which could be very difficult to try to navigate if you haven't had a Maschine. Like, since you might not know how Maschine works. Even if you do know how Maschine works, this is still a better option. Now with the Maschine Studio, I don't have mine here to show you guys because it's up in a closet, but it's been in the box, but it's much bigger than this. I could throw this in my backpack, which was very important to me. And you know, that this has been my baby for the past 2 years. Like, I've just been enjoying doing everything on here. I have the Complete Control MK2 sitting right here. I got them both at the same time. And sometimes I don't even play the keys on the keyboard. I will just do it on here. Like, this is everything. And another thing that you can do with this is you can mix, like use your mixer and Logic to cover your faders and stuff, which you probably could do with the Studio. I'm just not 100% sure because I haven't done it. You just twist it to get to the point that you want. And yeah, so I'm not gonna hold this video up any longer. You guys, this is the way to go, especially like I said, after 2 years of having it. I feel like I can give you a fair comparison on the two if you are trying to pick a machine to start with, whether it's the Micro, the MK3, the Studio. I say this beats out all of them. This is the way to go. And they have the limited edition orange that just came out today, which I was going to try to get one so I can give it away. They only made 100 of them and it is gone. They're all sold out. It was dope to see it. I was able to use it for a second while I was out in Berlin, but they're all sold out, so I missed out on that. But I have more giveaways coming soon. But I wish I had my Maschine Studio here so I can do a comparison even more, but this is what I have right now. So I would most definitely recommend you guys check this out. If you're new to Maschine and if you need help learning Maschine, check out my videos. I have tons of videos on my channel, and also if you want to go even further, like deeper in depth with Maschine and how I personally use Maschine, I will have a link to my Maschine video course, which is entitled How I Use Maschine, linked in the description below, and that is hosted on teachable.com. so you guys will be able to go in, leave comments, just check out all the videos, see what other people have been doing, and then on top of that, you can watch the videos from your phone, your iPad, your computer, PlayStation. I think somebody was watching a video on their PlayStation and sent me a picture of it, and I appreciate everybody who's picked it up. I've got a lot of great feedback on it. People say it's helping them, and I'm just happy that I have some knowledge that I could share with the rest of the world, help them learn this great tool right here. And even if you don't have the MK3, you can learn the Maschine Micro, you learn the software, all of that wonderful stuff. Even if you had a Studio, it works for you as well. It's just you have to learn the different buttons and shortcuts. Outside of that, I'm happy to be back. Berlin was great. If you haven't checked that video out, like I said, I will link it in the description so you guys can check that out. I'm currently working on my mixing course. Can you guess what it's called? I'll give you a second. It's called How I Mix My Beats. I've been getting a lot of questions and comments about, you know, how do I mix and can I mix other people's beats? And I was doing that as a service. At one point I was mixing other people's beats. I will still offer that service, but I'm going to put a video out there, video course, how I mix my beats. And I use Logic, but even if you don't use Logic, you'll be able to still take what I share with you and apply it to whatever DAW you're using, because it's not really DAW specific. I am going to include my Logic template, which will just be my my output channel. All the effects that I have on my output channel, which are all Logic stock plugins, those will be on there. They may not be at the same values that I have them on, because I don't leave them at the same values for every single beat. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but you will at least have the exact plugin that I used on my beats. You have it there for your beats, and then you could tweak it however you want to. So I'm looking forward to that, because a lot of people ask, how do I mix my beats? How can I mix their beats and all that stuff? So I'm giving it to y'all for y'all to check out. But I got a few other things I'm working on. I'm not gonna speak on them just yet, because I wanna knock one thing out first. But if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate y'all. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for all the support. I'm happy to be back. Let me know if you guys have any other ideas for videos that you would like to see. I think I'm gonna start doing more videos with the Maschine Jam coming up. And is it still worth it? I had the Maschine Jam going on 3 years now, I believe. Yeah, Maschine Jam is 3 years old, I believe. So I should do a video on that as well. Still worth it. May do a video on a complete control 2 years later, you know. But outside of that, appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you're not new, I appreciate all the support from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate y'all for watching. I'm out. Take care.